This is an old pair of shoes I put in here and forgot about. And the little Carolina wren went in there and made her nest, and she's got babies now. They go back and forth feeding them.
Oh!
And you can see where she's put all of her debris in there inside the shoe, too.
Oh. You know, I need a flashlight. Let me go get a flashlight. Okay, so I went and got a flashlight. Oh no, the babies are in there. Oh, the babies are in there. Let me see if I can get it to go up to where the babies are. That's the shoe. Oh, right there. Right there they are. Hang on. Can you see their little beaks up in the air? Come hold the flashlight right here, Mama.
I bet if you just kind of touched it a little bit, they'd think it was their mother come to life.
No. Wiggle the shoe just a little. No. Oop, that woke them up. They're actually dozing. They're actually dozing and sleeping it off. I don't know if I'm hitting them with too much light or just enough light. It's my caving light. I had it in my purse from when we go. Oh, they're so cute. They got little feathers sticking out of their heads like mohawks, Mama. Here.
They are.
Come hold the flashlight right here. Right here. It has to be right here because otherwise the stuff doesn't. Okay. I'm going to sit and... Oh, that woke them up. And that wasn't a human touch, so that shouldn't mess with the mama, right?
I don't know, we best not do that anymore, though.
Oh, okay. Well, I always know you can't, like, touch them yourself, because if you touch them yourself, the mom will abandon them, they say. Oh, they're so cute. I don't know if you can see them as good as I can, but I can see them, and they're so awesome.
This is where she raised last year, or one like her, in this house, and it was sitting over here. And so when she'd come and go, if you walked between the path and the birdhouse, you just might get hit.
So she actually raised them in that birdhouse right there, but it was sitting over there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you come out the door at the wrong time,
when she was coming back and forth,
you might get walloped.
That's right, because she had bugs on her mind.
She had bugs in her mouth.
That's right.
She had bugs in her mouth, and she was zoned in on feeding her babies. Anyway, so now we're going to go down and see Mama's chickens, her baby chickens. I'm excited. Mama gets baby chickens usually every year. And I used to always have chickens. But whenever I started caving and being more outdoors and you know, it's so inexpensive to go camping and caving because most time you can, you know, camp like there's one place it's just for cavers. It's $5 a person per night, and then there's a lot of times we'll just camp right there at the cave entrance in the parking lot, or a lot of caves have an area for camping. And so but you can't go away. You can't stay away a long time. You know, when you've got baby chickens, you got to be there every day. All right, so here we go.
Here's the babies. I just got these today, and got feed and water, and I need to check their temperature, make sure it's right, and it is. It's sitting right at 96, 97, 98, and that's not right under the light. It'd be warmer if it's under the light. But I move it away so I can kind of tell what it's going to be over here.
Oh.
And those are the little Americanas. They lay the blue-green eggs.
Oh, the light. Oh, there we go. Now I got them. Oh. And they look like little chipmunks. Their markings.
Mm-hmm.
Their markings is designed so that they can camouflage themselves in the wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can blend in. How old are they?
Well, they got them in yesterday, so they're just about a day old.
They're just a day old.
Yeah. And they had all kinds.
Oh, don't close it yet. Let's see. We will not hurt them, but we'll just put something over there. There we go. So that they will come to the center and you can see them better. And I'll just wiggle it. Look at them. They're like, you're messing with our hidey hole corner. There's something in the hidey hole corner. Aren't they adorable?
I like their puffs under the cheeks. The little beak there, they look like they're chuffy cheeked.
Yeah, now that's one way you can tell they're Aracanas is because they got the little puffs under their cheeks. And do they get feathers on their legs?
No.
That's right. It's just puffs on their cheeks. Where else do they get? Do they get puffs anywhere else?
Let's see.
Let's
No, I think
take
that's
out
it.
the stick that I laid in there.
These were all supposed to be pullets, but when I got home and checked them, I have 4 roosters and 2 pullets.
How do you know?
By the wing.
Well, they're probably too young for handling them and stuff like that now for you to show that because you don't want to be rough with them or handle them too much. But so tell us how you tell.
You have to get it the first day if at all possible, and the second day, and the third day's iffy. But you can hold up the wing, and on a rooster, it will be round, and then it goes up, and it's short feathers. And then on the pullet, it's rounded, the feathers are. There's no break in the feathers like on a rooster.
So like if you take the feather and the wing and you spread it out, a girl's feathers would be like this, but a guy's feathers, is it like that where they're shorter and then longer, or is it longer and then shorter?
Like these 3 would be long, and then these 2 here would be short. And that's a rooster.
And that's a rooster.
And then on the pullet also, you can separate the feathers, and they have little short pin feathers on the hens, the pullets.
Pin feathers where?
On the wing, when you look where the feathers are, in between the feathers there is little short pin feathers, and them only last about 2 days. After 2 days, it's just about hopeless to tell it apart.
So does that mean that the place that sold them to the Tractor Supply lied about them being all pullets, or that the Tractor Supply got straight run and they may have either accidentally did it or they lied?
Well, I believe the company where I bought them from, I believe they really thought they were pullets, but it weren't Tractor Supply, it was another place.
Oh, okay.
And but what was shipped to them was supposed to have been all pullets, but they didn't get all pullets.
Oh.
So that's the reason you have a problem.
So how many roosters did you say you got?
I got 4.
So you only got 2 hens?
2 pullets.
Oh.
But I can raise some next year.
Mama's always incubating eggs under one of her little banny hens because they make excellent brood mamas. And so whenever the little bannies get in the mood to raise off babies, what do they call that? When they get in the mood to set, she gets her some of her big eggs and she puts them under the little hen. You ought to see them little hens running around with them big babies.
And what was even worse is when I got 2 peacock eggs and put under a banny, and she hatched them and raised them.
Aye,
and they were bigger than her. In no time.
In no time. Well, how's your garden doing?
Oh, it's just like it was. I hadn't done anything else to it.
All right. You hurt your ankle.
Yeah, I hurt my ankle. So I'm having to limit what I do.
Yeah, you strained it. You sprained it.
I turned my foot a walking.
You turned your foot. Tell it, you've been walking to help with restless leg syndrome, right?
Well, my legs ache and they cramp at night. And I read where walking would help that if you would walk 15 minutes, and then when it got to hurting, sit down and rest, and then when that quit hurting, walks a little bit more, and then sit down and rest. And I tried it, and it worked real good till I sprained my ankle.
So she's wearing a brace now, and she's hobbling.
But my legs don't hurt.
But your legs still hadn't started hurting
No,
again?
my legs hadn't started hurting, and so tomorrow I plan to walk some on the soft grass.
Okay. I think you should just walk back and forth on the flat living room floor.
No, it's too hard, but the grass is soft, and you don't have that shock to the joints.
Oh, I see.
So I walk on level grass.
Well, when my ankle was hurting me, I twisted my ankle over a year ago. No. In October last year, I injured my ankle on the last caving trip of our fall tag fall cave-in event in October. And I actually irritated an old injury. I fell off of a boulder when I was about 11 or 12, and I can't run. I can't run worth a flip. Never could after that. And so I have to be really careful when I'm caving about putting too much weight on it suddenly, like jumping or leaping over things, or just anything that could, where I jump, like have to let myself fall a little bit. I have to make sure that I put my foot down straight and I don't hit anything and it cock, because then I'm down. And so it took months. I think I can still lightly feel it, but I injured it in October, and this is March, and I feel like I'm just now it's like 99% recovered. I still have like a little feeling that feels weird in there. So I'm really cautious when I cave, more cautious than any other caver, I guess, in the area. And I thank Steve for helping me sometimes when I have to, not climbing, but when I have to come down something and I have to, let my body weight go and slide down something, I have to hit right. And when I leap over things, I have to hit right. If I don't hit right, I'll be down for the count, and not being able to cave just about got me for months. All right, so Daddy's gonna play us a song. He's learned how to do something new, and he wants to play it for y'all. I was just going back inside, and I noticed that Mom's tulips have come up, and they're so pretty. I thought you might like looking at them, so I'm gonna show you that next. She's got a tomato cage over them to keep the dogs from knocking them as they walk through. This is just her rock garden, or this is what we've always called it, the rock garden. And I think most of these rocks were here when she started the rock garden, and it just sort of developed. You can tell maybe that round one there was brought in, but most of these was just here, and they just worked around it. And this is their mailbox where, like, if they're not home and you want to leave them a note or something. Isn't that cute? That's a red one. She hadn't put anything around that one since it was so close to the mailbox. The dogs wouldn't be tromping through there. And she'll have more flowers coming up as the season goes on. She's real big in her flowers. She loves her flowers. I don't know what that is, but it's real pretty. Okay, I've come in and Mom's making cornbread, and she makes some of the best cornbread, so I'm going to show you how she does it. Hang on.
Okay. This is just plain cornbread, nothing fancy.
She says everybody knows how to make cornbread.
I always blend it because sometimes the salt and baking powder settles to the bottom.
Of your self-rising cornbread?
This is self-rising.
I didn't know that.
So I always blend it because that way sometimes you get real salty cornbread if you don't.
Oh.
Then I just use regular milk.
How much milk do you put in there?
I just guess. I never measure.
You never measure?
No.
And what's that?
And this is mayonnaise.
That's like one major heaping tablespoon of mayonnaise.
That's right. Like that. That's all it takes. And then if you want a little oil, you can put just a little oil.
That was about a half a teaspoon to 3/4 of a teaspoon.
And then I use an iron skillet, and I have oil in it, and I preheat it because it just works better.
Can you bring that over here?
That's the amount of oil I use.
Yeah, tip it there.
That's hot.
I know. Tip it though. Tip it back. See that pool of oil right there in the bottom? So that's about 2 tablespoons, I'd say.
Probably so.
Counting what's layered on the pot. And did you put it in the oven or did you stick it on the eye? What'd you do?
Oh, I put it on the eye, on low heat, because I didn't want my oil to burn. And then just, you stir all this up. And then I always do this. I have a sugar shaker, and this was a vintage one I found at a tag sale. And so then I just shake a little sugar in it.
That was about a half a teaspoon.
About half a teaspoon. And then you mix it up. And you got your cornmeal ready, and you just pour it in there. And then you stir it up. Now my mother-in-law always put a little cornmeal in her oil, and she said it made crunchy cornbread.
Yeah. I've seen people do that. Just before they put this cornmeal in, they would sprinkle the dry cornmeal.
And they put it on the oil and let it sit on the eye and let it kind of brown. And once it brown, it does make a little crunchy texture.
How much milk you guess you poked in there?
Probably a cup.
About a cup of milk. Was it regular milk or buttermilk?
It's regular milk, 2%.
But you can make that with buttermilk too, can't you?
You can, but then you'd have to add soda.
Why?
It won't rise with buttermilk unless you add soda to it.
Baking soda?
Not baking soda, but
baking powder?
No, you're right, baking soda.
Baking soda.
Because this already has baking soda in it.
But it has to have extra if you use buttermilk.
That's right.
How much?
Well, I always, if I use that much buttermilk, I would put a half a teaspoon of soda in it.
Baking soda?
And that way it would rise. But buttermilk.
No, not baking powder. Baking soda. Like what you put in your refrigerator to absorb odors.
Now that's almost ready.
The Arm & Hammer orange or yellow box, orange box.
But it's still a little, now it's getting right. And it's ready to go in.
Hang on, I can't get across there fast enough. I was on the other side of the bar.
And if you notice, the cornmeal is starting to get a little brown. That's what you want. And then you turn that eye off. And then you just put your cornmeal in there. Hear it sizzle. And I made a little too much for this skillet. So I'm going to put every bit of it. And it's ready to go in there.
And wait. You can see how the oil has rose up around the edges, and that's what you want. You want a little oil to be rising up around the edges.
And sometime I take a spoon and I'll get some of that and put right on in the middle. But I think it's going to take all of it this time. But that helps to keep the middle nice and brown.
How long are you going to cook that now? What temperature?
Well, I've got it on 450, and it'll probably take a good half an hour.
Half hour. All right.
More or less.
Then we're going to eat cornbread.
That's right. We're going to eat cornbread and milk.
With butter.
With butter.
Okay, so now, Dad is going to play for us a new way he learned to play. Was it Amazing Grace?
Yeah, I just made it up.
Amazing Grace. He just made it up, he says. And he's wearing his favorite hat.
A toupee and a hat. I got them for $2.
You tell it in a minute. No. He got this hat for $2, and it's a combo. I gotta do it close up. Where did you get that?
At a trade day. Saved a lot of money, too.
All right, so now you got this song, which is Amazing Grace. Everybody knows Amazing Grace, but you made up a new way to play it.
Yeah, it has a little bit of a bagpipe right at the beginning. It's hard to do a bagpipe. You know, sounds a little like a bagpipe.
Yes, it does.
So it's Amazing Grace, 2 or 3 different styles of it.
All right.
Let's see. I forget. Now I recorded, I practiced a lot of mistakes to go in here.
Ta-da! That was awesome, Daddy.
Mistakes.
Huh?
I made a mistake.
Well, you
Always
practiced
practice.
it.
Yeah.
That's right. You practiced it up so you do it right.
Now they gotta buy a soap mold.
Now they got to buy a soap mold. That's right. That's exactly right. You go to, what do you go to? You go to essential-soaps.com and buy a soap mold from Daddy.
Yeah.
So you just got 2 orders in, so you got to get building.
Yep. When I get these pictures, I gotta get them out of the way. Been framing up there.
Yes. Is it going to be light enough for us to go up there and look at your pictures?
Got a
Hey,
lot
Mom,
lighter.
hand him that one there.
This was done when I was taking an art course called Draw Me.
Take-
back in,
Take it and put it within the camera view. I'm going to turn it to where you can see the camera so you can see whether they can see it.
I was about 15 when I drew this. These got lost down here in my old shed, and these what we call what's those things called that eats paper up? Silverfish. got in 'em.
silverfish.
I've had to cut them all down, because they messed up the edges, and I'd forgot I even had them. And I did a course back when I was a kid, 14, 15, 16. All these were drawn then. And there were lessons. Some of them you can really see good. They're all either pencil or pen and ink. And now instead of that, I paint.
Oh, you should show us a couple of your paintings.
There's one.
All right,
River.
I'll let you put the guitar up and then you can show us.
You'll have to get more reflections come in it.
All right.
This is a picture actually of a little river which is right up the road here. And I was going to work one day, and back in 1975, I believe, or 72, 3, 4, 5, and the snow had melted everywhere but right around the edge of the river. And that's a boathouse there.
I got a little bit of glare on it.
Yeah,
Let me try.
to get back away from the lights to go to the handle.
Yeah.
You're still getting a little bit of light on it. There we go. Now let me see if I can zoom in.
I did that in 97, I think.
Ah, show us some more.
I just do that in spurts. Here's something I did with my mother. You can see it. She's looping socks. We had sock mills in Fort Payne. And that's a pencil drawing I did of her live.
What is it? Read the bottom to us, can you?
Well, it's, let's see. Let's put on some glasses here. It says, a pencil rendering of my mother in 1951 running a knitting machine and a looping machine for a cobble hosiery mill in Fort Payne.
My phone is going off. I don't normally have signal at your house, so I'm trying to figure out how to. I was trying to figure out how to mute it so that y'all wouldn't hear the notifications, because I don't normally have signal here. It's a respite from the phone when I come here. All right, what about these?
Those are some I did back then too. That's a spring and winter, and I got the fall in the bedroom. It's a bigger picture.
And now these are done with oil paints.
Yeah, and acrylics. All on acrylics.
Oh. What is that over there?
That's pencil.
Yeah, that's pencil, but we got more over here.
That's one I did when I was probably a teenager. I don't know. Maybe early 20s when I was deer hunting. Like to deer hunt. I don't do.
And we got the little ones. That one there says 1978. I can see the 78 on it.
That's a horse I did back when I did this picture of my mother. That's back when I was about 15, maybe 16. These are all made up pictures. I didn't accept that one.
Well, this is original.
It's original, but I make up the scene.
Oh.
I just start drawing them. See, that's Little River. It's a river. I call it Little River. It's probably not. No, that's the same pictures we sold. That's a print of it.
That's a print of the picture that was the original in the living room.
Right.
Well, they can see it a lot better here because there's no glare.
Right.
All right. What's next? Well, there's some in the. There's some
I'll show you that same picture.
You'll have to turn some light on. This is me when I was very young.
Hey, come here, bring the camera up.
This is me when I graduated high school. Ooh la la. That's my dad when he graduated high school. And that is me when I was a young girl, young child.
I got one when you were a baby in here.
You do.
I'm going to frame it too.
Oh, I've seen this picture of me. Look at me.
I'm going to put it in this frame here.
Yeah, I had my little peak there Mama fixed me. You can see my cowlick already growing. She'd been flattening it down right there, trying to plaster it down. Oh, that's adorable.
I'm trying to straighten it up. It's kind of bold. I'll put my
Picture on it.
yeah. Well, that's all there. She's there.
Oh, there I am. Mischief gone to seed. There's my mom when she graduated high school. Or maybe that was her prom on her graduating year. She met my father shortly after graduating. And here's another picture of me. And you can see the devilishment in my eyes. You can see that little streak of fun.
Turn on the camera while you come in here.
Do what? Oh, okay.
I think that's gonna mess it up.
Yeah, turn it off just a minute. Let me see that light.
That's made up. These are just made up. I draw this one, just memory, or just a drawing.
Daddy had a flashlight out, and he thought that might help. But I think we can see it pretty good, just like it is with the flashlight on the wall.
That's the scene I made up, painted. That's like those little ones back there, the spring, summer, and winter.
So that's the fall.
Yeah. Didn't make it summer.
You didn't make a summer.
No, I didn't make it summer for some reason. It was so long ago, and I've got old. I don't remember.
So now that was fall, and in here is spring.
Yeah.
And spring and what?
Spring and winter.
Okay, so you didn't make a summer.
Didn't make a summer. No.
Well, the spring, sort of.
Yeah.
But you're right, you're missing the summer. You're going to have to get painting, Daddy. Don't you agree? Daddy's going to have to get painted and fix that.
I don't do too much. Here's a fall picture. If you can get the glare out of it. I can turn out this.
No, that one, I think the glare is not going to bother that one. I don't think so.
It's a road with water in the ditches and the mud holes, we call them.
When did you do that? Oh, 97. You did that in
I
1997.
haven't done one in a long time. And then I made that picture up over there.
Well, that's true artwork when you can make up your scene.
Oh, this one's here too over
And over here's another one too.
And there's these.
Yeah, these are the so
These two have always been my favorite, and I don't know why, because you have a lot of work that's much more detailed and whatnot, but I've always just loved these. These
That's
two right
lady
here.
Slippers. Now this is actually a picture I painted from a picture of that's Laurel Falls.
At DeSoto State Park.
Yeah.
I've been there many
We
times.
lived just 2.5 miles from there.
And he did that one in 97. Yeah, we just lived 2.5 miles from the park. Always have. When I was born,
Here's one more you can see.
I was brought here. Mom and Dad lived here. It was a much smaller house though. And they were getting inside plumbing. Mom said, I gotta have running water.
This is
That one there says 78, 1978.
and this is one of this.
Oh look, here's a little one. There's a winter scene. Now what now?
That one there.
I showed him that one. Tell us about it.
This one here.
Tell us about it.
Oh, it's just something I made up. Like going home, you know, there's sailboats out on the water and tombstones. Up here in the church has the steeple and some birds flying over. It's a lake.
I think it's pretty dangerous to have a cemetery in where there's a wash factor.
Well, their bodies right here, down there.
Yeah. Erosion's gonna get them eventually. Did you make the birdhouse?
Yeah.
It's called the Bluebird Methodist Church Birdhouse. Daddy likes working in his wood shop. So that's when you say, and buy a mold. Buy a soap mold, guys.
That's something.
Okay, so we're peeking in at the cornbread. It's looking really good. It's cornbread and milk night, but Kim, I don't eat cornbread and milk, but I eat cornbread and butter. I'll eat cornbread and butter any day. So, how much more time does it have?
About 5 minutes.
Ooh.
Around the side, around the bottom.
Are you fussing at the cornbread? It's not brown enough.
That's right.
Okay. Let me move the plate over there where you can get it.
Just don't burn yourself.
Oh, I want some of that.
Oh, now that's nice and brown and crunchy, Daddy.
Yeah,
You can't say a thing about
I know.
that. That's perfection.
This is crunchy good. And this is the way my mother-in-law fixed cornbread. With extra cornmeal in the skillet. And then it was extra crunchy.
I'm dying over here, guys. And you can smell it if you just had smell-o-vision. Oh. So I don't want a plate. I want a paper towel with some butter and cornbread because Daddy's taking me up there to the barn to show me those pictures that he's working on. So that's where I'm taking you next. I don't know where it's going to end up in the video, but that's where I'm going next.
Is Dawn taking a piece too?
Daddy, you taking a piece of cornbread and butter?
Not a full piece. I probably won't take one. I won't taste of it, but I'll be right back.
Uh-oh, it's breaking apart. You'll have to be careful with it.
That's the best kind of cornbread.
There you go.
All right.
The butter looks good.
Oh, it's hot. Mmm. What was that cornmeal you used? You said that cornmeal was the best cornmeal ever.
I'll have to look at the bag. I buy it all the time.
Did you throw it away? No, you emptied it.
It is sunflour, cornmeal mix, self-rising.
Mmm.
It's a southern.
It's a southern brand?
Uh-huh.
You northern folks are going to have to get online. Well, that is if northern folks eat cornbread. I'm a southern girl. I eat me some cornbread and butter. Mmm.
Facebook notification.
I know. I don't know. Ever since I got Verizon, I switched phone
How
companies.
big a piece you want down your
And now I don't get any peace at Mom and Dad's house. My phone still has signal.
That's good. I'm starving, but I don't want to eat the milk. It's too hot to eat the milk.
You get curdled milk, huh?
I'm going to butter mine, and I'm also going to add milk to it.
Mmm. Okay. We're going into Dad's wood shop. And this is the home of the Don's Wood Shop soap mold that he makes and sells on Facebook, on YouTube. And, well, not on YouTube, on my website, but we put videos on YouTube. It's late, I'm tired, it's confusing. And so now you're going to show us your artwork. So now tell us about it first.
Okay, in 1949, the summer of 49, I came down with rheumatic fever. And I couldn't do any exercise in school. And all the doctors knew about it back then. Is one of them put me in the bed for a week and gave me another one gave me a penicillin shot. I had an enlarged heart for a while, so from then on I didn't do any phys ed. But that once I got, could have been the summer or the winter of when I was 14, but I wanted to take an art course that would come out in the papers. Everybody's seen them all over the world. Draw Me, and that's one of the best schools, because I never did finish it. I only did about 2 lessons, maybe 3, of perspective and how to draw, and it was cartooning, and so I had to draw a little bit of cartooning. I had to do a little lettering, and some of those are lessons that I sent back. It was in Minnesota, where the art school was.
And you did this, it was mail order class.
They sent you a lesson, a book. I still have a couple of my books. And you do what they tell you to, and you stand in, and they'll grade it with a blue pen, or blue pencil. Right here is where they graded this. And they made blue pencil lines where everything was right but that. And let's see, I've got something here.
And Dad's in the process of framing these. That one has been
They were
framed.
lost for years. And here's for the graded one that I sent in, resent it in, and said very good there, where they graded it. First one wasn't good.
So they sent it back, and then you redid it.
Yeah, I redid it and sent it in. It says it's a rendering from Division 5.
What's under that?
Um,
What's under it? There's another one.
oh, I don't know these. This is a little girl. These were in a shed of mine, and I didn't know they were there. And bugs was eating the paper. I've had to trim every one of them. And this messed up a lot of it where I can't frame it. It's a little girl stopping by a paint store with her little dog. And,
Oh, you took it away.
oh, I didn't know. I thought you...
All right.
This is the female form. We drew the female form, which I love.
How old was he?
I was about 15.
Oh, yeah, that was a good age for loving the female form.
But it showed how to divide it all up with this and make everything in proportion. There's a hand studies of a guy holding a rope with the pencil shading on it, gripped on the rope. And my mother, I drew from a picture of her, just a picture like this of her. I drew that, I guess, about the same time.
Lift that up a little bit, the glare. There you go. That's my Grandma Rail. She loved her grandbabies, and her grandbabies loved her.
That's a squirrel. That wasn't a lesson. I just did that, I think.
Now, we need to back up because we've missed one. The male.
Well, this is perspective. If you see this guy standing, you can see the disappearing of the street getting down small. That's one of the best things that a person can learn is to drawing, is how to
draw dimension.
in perspective, where things get smaller, far off, and they come bigger. So that's a good lesson there.
And which one's next?
Well, this one here is a good one.
Oh, I like this one. Ooh la la.
Yeah.
Where is she supposed to be at?
Well, it was a bigger picture, but I had to cut it down. So she was in a tropical location. She got a gun there and her binoculars.
She's a hunter.
Yeah. And this is set with flowers. This is advertising. We did learn to paint signs, and it was just a commercial art test, or course, I mean. This is one of the hardest things, and
That was one of the hardest ones you did?
well, this is all India ink, this black. You had to do it with a quill pen.
With a quill pen.
Yeah, you put a point on it and dip it in ink and draw. It's India ink.
Ah.
Real nice stuff.
And now there's a cartoon.
Yeah.
A man fixing to accidentally
He's traveling. He's been in the travel agency and he's looking at his
tip it up right there. The glare.
He's looking at his program and he's just fixing to step in the manhole. And that there is a study of a lady. Study number 24, it says there.
The glass is dirty on that one, but you hadn't had a chance to clean it. You just framed them.
They're not all finished yet.
That one there's got glass, but
Yeah. And that's me back then.
that's you when you were 15.
14, 15. I drew the
And 1952, it says me, Dawn Phillips,
Of course, here's
1952.
another pretty babe here.
Oh yeah, I was asking him about how that the cleavage and whatnot was showing so beautifully through her shirt. I wondered if you got in trouble with your mama over that one.
No.
That was pretty racy for 1952. That's a beautiful one.
Mm-hmm. And then here's some babies. I haven't got these
Finished.
finished framing, but We had to learn to draw babies.
You did a great job. 15 years old.
And then another, that's India ink too. This is pencil. Those are paler pencil, and the others is India ink. So that's about it.
So that's it. Where are you gonna frame? Where the framed pictures gonna go?
In the hall.
In the hall. My pictures are in the hall.
Yeah, but on the other side though.
Okay, as long as I'm not being removed. I am not vacating the hall. Well, now you've got a really nice collection of stuff up there.
Yeah, that picture right there when I was about that age was what really inspired me to paint. I tried to paint that picture, and we sold it at an estate sale with my dad's, and then we found it over in Center, Alabama, and we bought it back.
So you sold it in an estate sale or at a yard sale?
You know, the guy that cleaned up and took what was left, he took that, and we went over there and got it.
Oh, in the estate when my grandfather passed away and my grandmother passed away, there was a sale, and I bought a lot of stuff, and I'm very pleased to have those things at my house, and so that I can keep them in the family.
This is a filthy shop.
Oh, you just got sawdust. You're supposed to have sawdust. You're just supposed to have sawdust. Are we going to do a how to make soap mold video again?
Yeah, we probably will.
Yeah? All right, because you've got a few orders in, so you'll be getting stuff put together.
Yeah, I've got to get these pictures back some of them and get some glass. Some of them I haven't got glass for.
All right. Well, I guess this will be the end of the video.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed going to Mom and Dad's house. Yeah?
Hope so.
Yeah. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. I've been making soap, and I know you've just watched my video. I don't know what it was. It might have been a caving video. It might have been a soaping video. It might have been a metal detecting video, or it might have just been some silly video I made at Lowe's. Who knows? But I have some links for you. Check them out. Please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Please hit the like button.